Drone technology has come a long way over the last decade. The unmanned aircraft are now being used for everything from making movies to delivering medical supplies in remote areas. But the technology has a dark side. In the wrong hands, drones could be used to spy on us, and have. They often threaten our very infrastructure and even target civilians.
In a Washington Post op-ed this month, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen warned of the dangers, writing in part, "Without congressional action, the U.S. government will remain unable to identify, track, and mitigate weaponized or dangerous drones in our skies." Here to discuss these concerns is Wired Magazine's editor-in-chief, Nicholas Thompson. Nick, good morning.
Morning, Anthony.
We're not talking about military-grade drones here. We're talking about commercially available drones. Yep. How big a threat are they actually?
They are actually a pretty substantial threat. We have seen recreational drones being used to drop grenades on American soldiers in Mosul. We have seen them being used by drug dealers. We have seen them being used by gangs. On the other hand, they're also amazing, and they're great for our economy. So we need drones to come forward. We just need to make sure they don't blow us up. So that's a hard problem for government.
And what sort of ways are they using this technology?
Well,
ISIS and some of these other nefarious entities.
So the drones have not been used to harm American civilians yet, but hypothetically, you could, as was done in Iraq, you could attach grenades in a drone and drop them. You could use perhaps even for chemical weapons. You could drop chemical weapons on a population. In the worst case scenario, you could fly a drone over a large gathering of people and release something toxic. That would be horrible. So we need to know how to prevent that while at the same time letting all these good things happen.
At the moment, anybody can buy a drone. So how does the government begin to address this?
Well, what needs to happen is the regulations need to be made very clear, right? So right now there are regulations. You can't fly a drone over 400 feet. You have to keep it within line of sight. The regulations on the limits and weight. But there are a lot of things the government can't do, right? A government can't jam a drone right now. It can't jam the technology and confuse it and take it down because of surveillance and wiretapping laws. It can't shoot a drone out of the sky because of regulations about shooting down aircraft, because it might fall on people. So you need to allow the government to track the drones, regulate the drones, monitor the drones, and take down the drones, but do that in a way that, again, doesn't destroy the industry.
Well, Homeland Security has asked for just that. Is anyone in Congress listening?
Congress is listening. The White House is paying attention. The problem is, as with any new technology, there's a real back and forth because you don't want to make the regulations too severe. It's not exactly clear how you do it. My personal favorite idea for how to stop drones is to train eagles. They're doing that in France.
No kidding.
That sounds nuts.
Are you serious?
You're not kidding,
It's totally nuts, and it's really bad for the talons, but it is possible. No, really what you need to do is, the best way to do it is radio frequency jamming.
Yep.
You need to be able to track the drones, and also you need to be able to regulate the drones so that they're not allowed to fly within certain areas. You need to be able to update the software so that that can be constantly changed. So when the Super Bowl happens, it is impossible to fly a drone near the stadium.
How is law enforcement dealing with this right now, Nick?
Law enforcement is perplexed. They want more tools, and they have some FAA regulations that are really hard to enforce. It's hard for a policeman driving a car to say, "Oh wait, your drone's more than 400 feet high." You're in trouble.
Yeah. So authorities, they have any special gadgets other than the eagles flying around to handle this?
They do, but they can't use them. I mean, that is actually one of the worst things about drone regulation right now, is that we know how to jam them. We actually know how to fire nets and catch a drone within 100 feet of where the net goes, right? And that doesn't knock the drone down on the crowd, but they're not allowed to use them yet.
Wow.
It's a problem.
It's a problem, but it is a solvable problem, and ideally the good people in the United States government can solve this.
I like that attitude, Nick.
Yeah, let's go get it.
Nick Thompson, thanks.
Thanks for having me here.